Lauren, many people hate my English accent. So if you like it, then you're in the minority because I love the English. I travel there a fair amount for races and whatnot, and people think I have a horrible accent. But considering most Americans are really bad at it, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, no, it sounded good. Do you think so? I'm Welsh. So most English people might think I have a bit of like a Welsh twang, but can you sort of pick up on that, or do I sound quite English?
Well, I think most Americans would have no clue. Like they don't know the difference. Maybe they could tell you a Scottish person, maybe
Yeah,
because they've watched Star Trek. I don't know, but yeah, most. I think yours. I would not have guessed that because I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know the Welsh accent that much. I'm starting to get the difference between North and South a little bit with England, but
I was going
anyhow,
to say, if I said that about Americans, I would have no idea. The north to the south, I wouldn't be able to tell you the different accents.
um, the South is typically slower. That would be
Yeah.
the easier way to like the stereotypical Southern person is like, hey, y'all gonna head over to the Walmarts, y'all gonna go with your mom and them's over to the Walmart like that. That's
Oh,
Southern.
okay.
That's Southern. Well, listen, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Let-
meet you as well.
let's talk about some stuff. So, uh, what is unbeatable training?
So that is so it was this sort of a training team set up by a gym in London, that's sort of backed by Nike. So that was something we had to um sort of people applied for it. I was asked to apply, and we had different trials, so we had to trial to get into it. So it's not so much that I'm trained by them, it's that sort of backing by Nike, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So you ran in high school.
Yes, so I was a 800 and 1500 meter runner.
Okay, and then did you go to uni?
Yes, so I went to the University of Birmingham. I did sport and exercise science. Um, by that point, I had given up the running, and I sort of was more into my field hockey. So I played field hockey from the ages of like 10, 11. So sort of picked it back up when I went to university. So that was sort of my main sport throughout
Have
uni.
Have you spoken with Mo from HYROX?
No, I haven't.
He is a gold medalist in field hockey.
Is he? Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's I think that's one of the reasons why he's pushing for the Olympics thing is because he was an Olympian and it means a lot. So
Yeah.
anyhow, um he is German, obviously. So they when did you decide you weren't going to continue on your running then?
So I was a competitive swimmer and runner at the
Oh,
same time. So swimming was my first sort of sport. So I did that from the ages of like 8 till about 15, 16. So with competitive swimming, it's every morning, every evening. Like I'd be in the pool from like 5 in the morning. I'd train, go to school, and then straight to practice sort of after school as well. I was always a better runner than I was a swimmer. Um, but I think I quite liked that sort of family aspect of the swimming. I It sounds weird because it's not a team sport, but because I saw the same people in and out every single day, I quite liked that sort of team aspect. Um, so wasn't enjoying the running either. I preferred the swimming. It sounds awful, but I enjoyed the swimming more than I did the running. So I quit the running to carry on the swimming. But then it got to the point when I was about 16 and I realized like I'm not going to get anywhere with this sport. So yeah, I sort of went all in on the swimming, gave up the running. And then when I went to university, that's when I gave up the
uh,
competitive swimming.
do you know Vivian Tafuto?
I do. I do.
She was a competitive swimmer. Did you know
I
that?
think I think quite a lot of people are competitive swimmers. Isn't Alex Ronkovich a
Yes, yes,
swimmer?
he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah. So I think it's that, like, definitely with the swimming, because I did it for so many years and I had to get up so early. It was a lot of my weekends. It was basically like my whole life except for education. So it's sort of given me that sort of drive now within HYROX, if that makes sort of sense, that you get that sort of almost routine and determination from that. And so I can sort of put that into the HYROX training now.
How much is swimming part of your training now?
Not much. I did a half Ironman last year, so I sort of incorporated some of the swimming back into my training then, which I enjoyed. But I've I've realised that that's why I sort of gave up the swimming. Like it is quite boring staring at the bottom of the pool floor for an hour or
Like if
so.
somebody said, "Hey, I'm doing a pool workout today," you'd say, "I will pass."
If it was, if it wasn't so often, but if it was like every week, someone was like, "Oh, I'd come and if do you want to come and do a pool session?" I'd be like, "No."
Right. And so your first Hyrox was when?
It was Birmingham last year. That was my first HYROX. It was an open.
Um, and did you go into it with big goals, or were you like, "This seems fun. Everyone's talking about it"?
Not really. I got back into the running after university and started a little bit of CrossFit. And I always enjoyed sort of the more aerobic workouts within CrossFit. And so a lot of people were sort of saying to me about this High Rocks event that it had a lot more of the running in, the thing that I was good at. So yeah, that's when I gave it a go.
And when did you decide you were going to take it kind of more like, was your first one open and then from then on you did pro?
Yes, my first one was open and I qualified for worlds through that, through the when you could actually qualify through the open.
Or
So then
Chicago?
yeah, yeah. So that's when I was like, right, maybe I need to actually take this seriously. And then my first pro was a couple of months later in Glasgow.
And how did that go? What was your time?
A 106. That was my first one.
And did you immediately think like, okay, here's what I need to improve on? Was it obvious what you needed to work on to get faster?
Um, Definitely the sleds, like my sled pull. I've never been a massive fan of the sled pull. The sled push, I actually quite enjoy. I think being a sort of coming from that strength aspect of CrossFit, I did enjoy the push. I think my pull technique just it needs a lot of work. But I think it was more overall fitness because I think I still had the run in there. Like obviously you always want to try and improve your running for high rocks, but that was definitely sort of my strength going into it. So yeah, definitely like the sled pull and the burpees. Those are the two that I needed to work on.
And so you were just over here in Phoenix,
I was.
and what was the goal there?
The goal was to sort of establish myself in that elite 15 lineup, sort of because I hadn't, so I ran a time in London that was fast enough to get me in. I did sort of a bit of a Hail Mary before Christmas and went to Stockholm to try and get that second time. I got a 30-second penalty there. So within the space of what was it, about December time to January, I was trying to get into races to try and get that time. So it was literally those two races that got me into Phoenix. So
So what was the 30-second penalty? Is this the 102.48?
yeah, so that was I'd placed the kettlebells into the box, and as I'd ran away, one of them had tipped over and fell out. And because there was no one else around me, they were like, "Well, they're her kettlebells." So yeah, that was a 30-second penalty.
That was it?
That was it. And a lot of people, like especially when you take the like sandbag off on the lunges, like people throw it, and I know that's going to be a penalty. So I thought I placed them down quite well, to be honest. Like you can't really lob 24-kilogram kettlebells sort of easily. So I don't know. I didn't see them fall. So, but that was what a 30-second penalty will get you. So.
And then, so how did it go in Phoenix?
So I didn't finish in my Phoenix race, my Elite 15. Um, I'm smiling now, but at the time I was absolutely devastated. Um, my first Elite 15 race, and I've never not finished a race before. I've done marathons, I've done like half Ironmans, and I've never, ever in my whole sort of sporting career, even as a child, I've never not finished a race. Um, Going into the race, I felt fine. Like I did feel a little bit jet laggy. Like I felt tired. I didn't feel myself, but I sort of got to that rower. It was more the burpees that sort of started to kick in, and I just felt really, really sick. Um, I sort of got to the burpees, felt like I was going to be sick then, but I was like, no, you've got to keep going. You've got to keep going. Sat down on the rower, started pulling, and I've never felt it. Well, I've never felt like it before. My just energy just completely went from my body. I sat there, stopped for a little bit. I was like, no, you can do this. You can keep going, keep pulling. And I just threw up on the side of the rower. And everyone was sort of screaming at me like, oh, take a gel, it might be that you need more energy, it might be something. I just felt so sick that to try and take anything on, um yeah, I just felt, well, I was sick.
Well, you're in a very long line, Lauren, of not finished the Elite 15 race. We might
It's
not have
I didn't
we might not have ever had 15 men and 15 women finish a major or the world championship. It's always one from either. Whoever's listening that does math on this, go find out. But it always happens. Some man or some woman goes down, and it's never like, I wasn't feeling that great. It's always like they passed out, they threw up, something, something
I
happened.
don't get it. I don't understand that why HYROX, like I understand that you're at a threshold for about an hour and it's hard. Like, don't get me wrong, it's one of the hardest races that I've ever really done. But I've always been able to finish stuff. Even if I've been in the bin, I've been able to keep moving, keep finishing. And like, it's more embarrassing. I would much rather have finished that race in a time of like 1:10, like 15 minutes back from the rest of the girls, than not finish. Like, don't get me wrong, not finishing that race, I was distraught. I was embarrassed that I'd travelled so far. I was the first Welsh woman in the Elite 15, and I
Ever?
didn't finish ever. I think in the singles category. But yeah, I was really embarrassed. I was really embarrassed.
Can you remember, did you think, if I lie down for a minute, I can maybe make it through? Because like you said, if you're not
I
worried about getting to an
Yeah,
hour 15, did you think about that?
I did stop for a little bit, and I said I was going to try because I sort of threw up on the side of the rower.
who was
Sort of was.
who was on either side of you at that time?
Who's the one side? Oh, the Spanish. Is it? Oh, I can't remember her name. Begins with an M. Garcia.
Yes, yes, Manuela Garcia.
Manuela Garcia. She was there. I think at that point she'd already left because I'd stopped, given myself at least 10 to 20 seconds, tried to row again, was sick, sort of got off the rower, got back on. I was like, no, I want to finish this. And yeah, so I was there for quite a while debating whether
Yeah.
or not I was going to pull out. But yeah, not my finest moment.
So what do you think? Do you think it was just, I went out too hot, I overheated, or you just think it was a combination of all of it, tired, maybe dehydrated? Like, what do you think now that you've had time to reflect?
I think it was like a mix of everything. I think the traveling, I think coming straight off the back of working 4 weeks and coming to Phoenix, the heat, maybe the nerves as well, maybe sort of something I'd eaten, being out of routine. I don't know. There's nothing I can sort of pinpoint on it, because then a couple of days after, I was able to then go and run a doubles, and felt fine. So I don't really know.
And you guys did well in the doubles, right?
Yeah, so me and Charlie have been trying to get a doubles in for a while, but because of our sort of um calendars, really, it's been hard to sort of get one in. We were going to do one in Manchester before we both got into the Elite 15. So we were like, well, we're both in Phoenix. So yeah, we got it done. And I knew we'd do well. That's I just With the doubles, I find there's a lot less pressure. For me personally, I think that I know that I will bust a gut for that person who's next to me. Um, and I find them fun. It is a lot more fun than the singles. So I was excited, and I'm so glad that we had that doubles race a couple of days after. Otherwise, I think I'd have been in a very different mindset
So are
coming
you
away
are
from
you
America.
are you qualified for the major in Poland and the London EMEA?
For doubles, yes, at the moment. I need to see about EMEA and Poland for singles. So that's what I'm sort of debating at the moment because I didn't get that time in Phoenix. So my one time is a 109 and my second time is a 102, 40 or 30. So it's trying to get that next race in to try and get that my average down.
I'm trying to pull it up here on the website to see what kind of time you need. Do you know what time you need?
Sort of about 109 again. I think a 130 might even get me sort of into that sort of 10th position.
Right.
That's the thing, it's just getting that second time down and it's just having the time to do it. So I'm a full-time teacher at the moment and it's trying to get one that time off school to go and do it. It's the like financial side of it as well and trying to get it in before something like the EMEAs to do it. So that's what I'm struggling with at the moment.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of good English gals.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's Europe too, so Linda can be there, Lena can be there, Emily can be there.
yeah,
They're all going to be there.
yeah.
Um, sorry, I got lost here.
Sorry.
So what are the next few for you that you've got on the calendar?
So I'm going to do
And you have
Glasgow.
your pro card, I assume, Lauren.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do.
Had you when had you gotten that?
After London,
Yeah.
after London. So
Right.
yeah, I was like, right, I actually need to actually, but well, get one.
Right.
Um, so Glasgow in, I think it's the middle of March. Hopefully the EMEAs and then Warsaw. I'm sure at this point in time we should qualify for the doubles for Warsaw, but I am debating maybe going over to Katowice in the next 2 weeks to try and get that time down, but I'm still unsure and I'm still debating that at the moment.
So how hard is it for you with a full time job? Because some of these Elite 15 folks, they get to be pro athletes for a living.
Yeah. So the school I'm in, they're great. They are really good. And so like for Phoenix and for World Champs, they've been like, yeah, that's fine. You can have that week off. But of course, I can't take the mick and have days off here and there. But yeah, it's sort of full time, 9 to 5. I'm in there teaching. So I'm a PE teacher. So um yeah, it's hard. It is hard. So this morning I was up at 5 a.m. to get my first session in. After this, I will be on the bike for my second session. So it's just trying to get that, just being organized and having that routine and making sure I'm getting enough sleep. But yeah, it's hard. It's that recovery, really. I don't have time in the day to recover. I have to be there and present in my job.
Do they know that you're really good? Have you shown them your flags?
The kids do now because of Phoenix, and they are really sweet. They do. They're constantly asking me what they're doing. They've done like little mini high. So when I was away, they were doing like little HYROX challenges. But yeah, they're really sweet with it. It's quite nice that they know what I do, and they're happy to ask me about it.
So we were joking about accents before. Can you explain to my audience doesn't even like know the difference between like England and Wales and
Mhm.
like Northern Ireland. So like
Yeah.
can you explain where you are geographically and who are the other athletes that the Welsh athletes? Are there any
So
besides you?
I'm south of, if you think of the UK, Wales, so I'm South Wales, so I'm right at the bottom. So Charlie, my doubles partner, she's English and she's in a place called Bristol. So she's only about an hour from me. So I'm not actually too far from the English border. In terms of Welsh athletes, this was something I was worried about if it came down to your doubles partner next year, if it was to do with your same nationality, which I should be fine to race for Charlie. I've cleared that up. That it's to do with your passport, and because everyone in the UK has a British passport, it should be fine. But in terms of Welsh athletes, I know there was two individuals that raced in elite doubles. I don't know where they are in Wales. I know there was a guy called Afan,
Yes.
Afan Humphreys.
Yes.
He was in the Elite 15 at one point. But other than that, in Wales at the moment, I'm struggling to sort of compared to the English, there's not really as many people within that realm and at that standard.
Right. So when I traveled on the train
Yeah.
to Scotland,
Mhm.
um, I was surprised that I just got off the train. There was no passport. There was no anything. What about going into Wales? Same thing.
Yeah, you could travel from Scotland all the way down to Wales and you wouldn't know on about an island.
So what is it that makes something uniquely Welsh?
Ooh, uniquely Welsh. I say we are massively into our rugby, but if you actually look, so we've got the Six Nations going on at the moment. Notoriously, we're quite supposed to be good at rugby, but at the moment, the past couple of years, we've been absolutely awful. So I don't know whether we can claim that anywhere at all, really. Um, I don't know what makes people Welsh compared to English people. Um, the accent, the food's kind of the same. We have our Welsh cakes. Um, we have something called, well, the language. There's the Welsh language that I can't speak fluently. But if you go to a Welsh school, you will learn
Do your parents
Welsh.
speak it?
No, my parents are English.
Oh, okay.
That's maybe why you can't hear my accent really. Um, but yeah, there are so south of Wales. English Welsh isn't spoken as much as they do in the north. Up north, they speak a lot of Welsh, and it's like their predominant language. But in South Wales, you don't. Everyone speaks English. Basically, you
And
wouldn't see many people that can speak Welsh.
and who are your more famous exports, like actors or musicians?
Oh God. Um, Sporting people, we've got Gareth Bale.
Okay.
He is a Welsh footballer. Tom Jones. If you've ever heard of Tom
The
Jones.
singer Tom Jones?
Yeah,
Oh,
Tom
of
Jones. He's
course.
Welsh.
Of course. Americans love Tom Jones.
Oh, good. um, oh God, I'm awful at sort of pop culture movies. I'm awful with. I'm not much of a movie watcher.
I'm gonna ask the internet.
Yeah, I was going to say they'd probably be better than I am. My knowledge of TV and film isn't great.
Let's see what chat has to say. It says, "Let's do this property. Wales punches way above its weight culturally." Okay, first of all, you got Sir Anthony Hopkins. All right,
Yes, yes, I know who
Richard
that is.
Richard Burton. Do you remember him? Do you know who he is? He was like my parents' generation.
No, I don't know him.
Michael Sheen. Do you know who he is?
Yep, no Michael Sheen.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yep,
No,
singer.
no relation to. No, she's an actress.
Oh God.
No relation to the other Jones, to Tom Jones. Do you know who Duffy is? I have no idea who Duffy is.
Duffy's a singer.
No idea. How about Manic Street Preachers?
They are a band, I think. My knowledge of TV and film is absolutely awful.
You didn't grow up watching a lot of TV?
I did, but like in the evenings, winding down to a film just isn't. I'm just not a fan. I can't sit still for that long.
So you just sport and then you come home and go to bed.
I liked. I will watch TV and film, but my like knowledge, like actors, I'm not too bothered about who's playing who, and yeah, not great with it to be honest.
Okay. That's fine. So what are the closest races to you? Geographic.
Cardiff's the closest one.
Right.
So Cardiff is about 40 minutes from me. And then Birmingham is in England, and that would be about an hour.
So Cardiff, is that in a stadium?
It is in a stadium, yeah, the Principality. So that's where sort of if Wales are playing rugby, that's their sort of home.
So have you already raced there before?
Yes, the first. So this is only the second year that Cardiff has been a actual HYROX. So yeah, I raced there last year, and I'm looking to race there again this year.
So what was it like?
It was good. I was surprised with there was a bit of a problem with the spectator area because of the stadium, because it's this sort of round, well, a stadium basically. I don't really explain to people what a stadium is, but only half of the arena you were allowed in. So the other half, there was no one sat there, there was no one over the other side. It was just half the stadium that people were allowed into, and the spectators weren't allowed into the middle part like a normal HYROX, like you're always around, people are able to sort of be in front of you on the rower. In Cardiff, that wasn't the case. But I think they're fixing that this year. So hopefully it will be it'll be better for spectators and the athletes.
So, how would you have compared it when you walked into State Farm Stadium here in America?
Oh, the State Farm Stadium was much bigger. It was huge. It was huge. But I think the problem with stadiums, because they're so big, if there's not a lot of people there, it does feel quite empty. Like, I
Right.
think they look amazing, but as a spectator, if it's not full to the brim, it looks really quiet.
I felt the same
So
way. Like the Elite 15 should have felt cooler, but it wasn't. I just kind of sat in the stands and watched. I didn't.
it was, yeah, it was so quiet. I had more people watching my doubles than I did
And I
singles.
was at an Elite 15 race in Glasgow, and I was at an Elite 15 race in Hamburg, and it was like
Mhm.
you felt it. You know what I mean? Like you really felt it, and that one was, I would say, a little off. But do you find like when you did you stay close to the stadium?
So we were about 15 minutes away. So me and my partner, and then Charlie, her coach, and two of the boys, the Sutherland brothers, we all stayed in one big Airbnb, which was nice.
Right.
But yeah, we were only 15 minutes away.
Because I was actually thinking about you guys because everything in America is massive, and Phoenix specifically, like that area that they built around the stadium. I remember thinking, so I could walk from my hotel, and you'd pass like all these, like there was a Chipotle and there was a Starbucks, all that stuff, and I just thought,
Mhm.
like these roads are bigger than most of the roads I've ever seen in London, like ever, or England.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So is it America? Does it feel like massive to you that way?
Yeah, it does. Do you know what surprised me? Like, so when I went to Chicago, I I enjoyed it, but it wasn't sort of the America I'd pictured. Whereas like in Phoenix, it's like the big trucks, it's the cactuses, it's the like you could go to a big Walmart and go and see all the like colorful cereal. Like that's what I expected America to be.
Right, because Chicago's a city, right? It could be a European city, you know.
Yeah, yeah, like it looked like it was sort of any other city that
Right.
I'd been to. Yeah, like yes, there was different shops, there was different things, but when I was actually in Arizona, that felt like America. Like that's what I expected America to be like, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and so for us, it's the opposite. Everything is quite small.
Yeah.
So, I've driven over there and it's quite harrowing because you're on the wrong side
Hmm.
and, you know, on those narrow streets, people park on both sides because that's just where their houses are. And so everything's
Yeah.
like ev- tiny. And then, anyway, I know I've heard from people who've traveled over here that like it's funny. People do mention the shopping, like just like
Yeah.
aisles and aisles. But you guys do have um, what's the version of Walmart you guys have?
Walmart, Asda.
Yeah, you guys have Asda now,
Yeah.
which is kind of as big, but not quite. But yeah,
That's the thing. We have supermarkets that are that big. It's just, do you know what it is? I think it's the different foods. Like it's not like I could go into a supermarket in Sweden and I'd still be interested in what's there because it's all just different. But I think it's because I don't know, you watch when you're younger, especially in the UK, there's a lot of American TV programs on, a lot of like Disney Channel programs. So you hear it and see about all these products and different things, and you know they're American. So when you go in and you actually see it and you're like, wow.
you did watch TV as a kid. What did you watch as a kid?
Oh, what did I watch? Like Hannah Montana, that was a massive one. I really enjoyed that when I was younger. Oh my gosh, what else did I watch? My parents were always really like, no, we're not gonna let you watch Disney, but me and my sister loved it. Um, what was on Disney Channel at the time? Wizards of Waverly Place, that was one we enjoyed. Trying to think, my memory's awful.
It's okay.
Um,
It's okay.
but yeah, I did watch TV when I was younger.
So on Instagram, you're
Mhm.
Lauren Stockley with two Y's. I'm guessing because the other one was taken.
Yep. Some other Lauren Stockley's got
You,
that handle.
you didn't think about Lauren Stockley like I don't know 27 or anything. You just
Just thought extra Y. As you can see, I'm not very creative.
Oh, and you have a world record, yeah?
Yeah, in the relay, in the women's relay.
Who was on that team?
Saskia, Jed, I think her name. I can never pronounce his second name.
It's okay.
Alex Hill, and oh my gosh, her name's gone blank. Oh my god, how have I forgotten her name? Alana.
And who put this team together?
The Unbeatable training, so sort of the Nike team. So we're all on the same team, and we'd all sort of travelled. They'd focused on London as one of their big events. So we were put up in a hotel. We were sort of everything was sort of sorted for us, and we were put into that relay team. And it was never something we didn't really think about a world record, to be honest, until we'd finished and we were like, oh my God, this is a fast time. This is really fast. But yeah, we didn't expect to do it, to be honest.
What they give you for stations?
I was on both the ergs.
Yeah.
Not something I would have chosen for myself, but I sort of went in there. I'd done a doubles that weekend. I'd done a singles. I just said to them, I was like, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Don't worry. Like, I'm not
It's
gonna
it's interesting
fight
that
for
somebody it,
baubles.
but it's interesting that somebody didn't claim that though, because like who wants to do lunges? Who wants to do wall balls? Like that doesn't sound
Oh, I'd much rather do the lunges than the
really,
herbs. Yeah, I
really.
hate the ski erg.
People hate the lunges. My least favorite is burpees, but
Yeah,
what I like about it is it's you're halfway done and it's you're done with it, right? And even though
yeah,
lunges kind of suck as well, I just feel like I don't know how to me the entire concept of throwing your whole body into something is the worst. Maybe it's because I'm older. I don't know, but to me that's the
yeah.
worst. Burpee's the worst.
Yeah, I hate the burpees. It was one of the ones I used to like when I first got into high rocks, but as I'm getting more experience in it, I can't stand the burpees. But yeah, ski erg, burpees, not at all fun. But I do like lunges. I do enjoy the wall balls. It's just a shame that they're at the end of the race, to be honest.
What do they have you running in?
As in,
The shoe.
oh, I was in the Vaporfly
Okay.
for the relay. For an actual high rocks, I wear the Alpha Flies.
And what do you train in usually?
The Nike Zoom Fly sixes, or if it's just like an easy run, the Nike Femeros. I
What
can tell you shoes, but I can't tell you actors.
that's clearly no shoes. Um, Well, I know that they've signed a few athletes lately, and so it's been exciting because obviously Puma went all in. They're sponsoring HYROX through 2030, and they've picked up some athletes. So we were excited to see. They signed Charlie. They signed Dylan. What
Mhm.
what women do they have? I can't even think.
Emily Darman
Yes, they signed Emily.
and who else? Seka Arnin.
Right. I think they've had her for a while. I feel like.
Yeah, I think so. But I remember Emily Darman was a big one that they had recently. But yeah, they've got a couple of athletes at the moment.
So how much do you do with this sort of club?
So I don't see them very often because I am in Wales. They don't do any of my sort of training. I don't do any sort of training sessions down there because London's about 4 hours away from where I am. Um, but what they do for us is basically they kit us out. So we did London, and like Manchester was one of the events that they had pinpointed us for doing, so they would have paid for everything for that. But because Manchester was a week before Phoenix, I didn't do that. Um, but yeah, so it's not with Nike, it's not a full sponsorship. It's like almost like an ambassador program. So they do give us sort of like training programs and stuff like that. But I have my own coach that I'm with. But yeah, it's basically just the apparel and shoes. That's what I'm getting at the moment.
All right. Well, listen, I'm glad we got to talk, and I'll see you probably at World Champs, I guess.
Yes, hopefully. Well, hopefully I will be there. I will be there.
All right, that's what I like to hear. All right, good talk.